Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about Doordash driver says he was scammed out of $200 by fake company called Pretending to Help. As we all know, there are a lot of scams that happen within the Doordash program as well as with all of these other apps on the subject, one of which is Dasher support contacting you and pretending that they are trying to help you. First off, the fact that they're trying to help you should be a red flag right away because DoorDash doesn't help anybody. That was bad. That was bad. In an attempt to help you stay protected from these people, we're going to go over this article, we're going to go over some pro tips, and everything in between on the subject. So with that said, let's get started. The money started being really good really quick, he said. While hoping to feed his pockets, he got an order for a fast food restaurant on Saturday. I went and looked at my app to see what I was going to order, and it said 1 piece of Texas toast. Poage recalled it was a $7.50 for a 3-mile run. Okay, well, that's already an interesting point. It was a very low item count order. It seems like a place and pay, and it seems like he was just picking up Texas toast, which is already odd. After picking up the order, he said he received a phone call. The person on the other line claimed to be with Doordash support. So if the caller ID says Dasher support, either they are calling in as a Dasher support agent or they work for the company. Or, and I've been noticing this too, this has been happening within the California markets where Dasher support will actually come up on caller ID and they will pretend to be Dasher support and take your money that way. There's people who lost thousands that way out there. And these have been on the rise again overall. We're just getting a hold of it now. The caller said they were verifying that Poage was making the delivery. He sent me a text message. It had a link. It gave me a 6-digit code text message and says, we just sent you a 6-digit code. Can you give that code to me? He recalled. They never asked for a 6-digit code. Ever. Never give out personal information like that. A 6-digit code like that would also probably come with the point of do not share this 6-digit code. That's just a trap within itself. Poage said the caller knew specific details about the order, so he complied. Seconds later, he got another text telling him his Dasher account has been wiped, close to $200 and gone. If they knew information about the order itself, they're probably the customer that ordered. Always keep your personal information personal. I freaked out for a minute, Poage said. Leah Nopalio is the vice president of operations at the Better Business Bureau in Houston. She says scammers are impersonating employers. They gain your trust first of all by pretending to be someone you trust, whether it's a friend or an employer, she said. Bold of you to assume that we trust Dasher support. I feel like a lot of people are falling for this these days. Whatever you do, keep your personal information personal. She says, don't click on links if you don't personally know the sender. The best thing to do is reach out to your employer using the contact information you have in your records, she says. Okay, so first off, yes, you should definitely contact Doordash and tell them about the person. Doordash is going to be more likely to deactivate the customer account if they know they're scamming people. That's the one thing that I will say as a positive for Doordash deactivations. Because they're so trigger happy on the subject, they will take that information and they will deactivate the person on the other side of that. KPRC2 called the number that called Poage and received a no longer in service message. Are you surprised about that? A spokesperson with Doordash said they have refunded Poage and asked us to share the following tips. Never share your personal information. If you receive a request for your password, security code, or other account details, do not share this information, even if the request appears to come from support or the person knows specific details about your order. Another point I do want to make about this is that Dasher support rarely calls you personally unless it is specifically in regards to what actually happened during the course of an order. And let's say the customer is claiming that the order never arrived. Like, that's pretty much the only situation they will actually call you personally. Create a strong password. A unique password should contain a mix of words, numbers, symbols, and upper and lowercase letters. Avoid using generic words such as password or Doordash. Do not use your birthday or social security number. You should never be using your social for anything, but make sure it's something that you're actually going to remember and you don't have to write down, because let's be honest, I think we've all forgotten a password in our time. Report suspicious activity. If any user suspects fraudulent activity, they should immediately contact customer support to help resolve the issue. Customer support, Dasher support, whoever, they're actually pretty good about that, to my actual surprise on the subject. So don't be hesitant. As for Poage, he's back on the road, but not taking any chances. I went out yesterday, but it has prevented me from leaving money in my Dasher Direct account, he said. Ooh. That's an interesting point. If you end up having a Dasher Direct account, regardless of the cashback, if you don't feel safe having your own Dasher Direct money at all, then is it worth it? If you could just have it stolen from you right away. Now, granted, the same thing can happen with Bank of America or Chase Bank or anything like that, but I feel like those banks do a lot more to protect your information than DoorDash ever does. Not to mention, Dasher support is a lot less effective overall than any of these other companies. And I'm saying that about Bank of America. They don't want to be liable for identity theft. DoorDash said they have dealt with other users falling victim to a phishing scam, and they regularly send out communications on cyber safety. Maybe I just don't get those communications. Let me know in the comments how often you actually get a communication on the subject, whether it's in-app or through email. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. When it comes to Dasher support, they are not helpful by any means. So if you get a call from someone claiming to be Dasher support, they're not Dasher support. That is the one positive I would say about having the most useless people running Dasher support, is that because they're so useless, they would never try to reach out for you for information. And also, DoorDash has all this information. It's not like they're calling you to understand if the order is getting done. They don't even care for the most part. Unfortunately, this guy was told information on the order, so therefore this driver believed the customer who was claiming to be Dasher support, so he ended up losing $200. Thankfully, he got his money back, but that may not happen every single time. In fact, I think it was because this news station was actually on them on the subject. That's why he got the money back. Because I'll tell you what, if this was a silent incident, they would just keep their money. Also, that said, quick note about Dasher Direct. If you're concerned about leaving your money in an account for any reason, whether it's because it's in DoorDash's hands or whether it's potentially being stolen by a customer, you shouldn't keep money in that account. If you don't feel safe banking with somebody, you shouldn't be banking with them. It's really that simple. Overall, just make sure you're protecting your personal information, such as passwords or anything that can potentially lead to your information being found. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!